So we're always working on a lot of bikes. This particular bike that we are going to talk about today is a bike that we have worked on in the past. We've done a couple iterations of it. We are starting with BMW's R18. It is straight up street bike, straight up cruiser street bike from BMW 1800cc. And we're gonna strip this thing down and throw a bunch of new inspiration into it and see what we come up with. Funny where the inspiration came from this bike. Originally, it came from the BMW R90S, which was a bike we used to inspire the Concept 90 that we built. And Concept 90, if you remember, was the first R90 custom and a bike that BMW used to introduce the R90 to the world. We did that at Villa d'Este and introduced the bike. Super cool, fun, custom project. And that led on to our first BMW R18 build, which was the BMW Dragster. This is a bike we built for BMW, and one of my customers loved this bike, and he was interested in doing a new version of it, but he didn't want to do it the same. And strange enough, our original concept of this bike was more of a pro stock version of the bike. This ended up being a bit more streetable. It's basically a street dragster, street size wheels and tires, more stock components. Utilizes a bunch of the RSDX BMW products that are available on BMW's website, on the R18 website. So we're kind of going back to this original render for this new R18 Dragster, R18 Dragster 2. And we are also going to be bringing in the orange colorway of the Concept 90. We're pretty far along in the process, and I'm gonna walk you down and I'm gonna show you where we are currently at, and I'll also show you Dragster because we're gonna walk by it. Oh, yeah, look at that. It's actually pretty cushy. Once you lay down on it, it's super nice. Let's go take a look at the new bike. There we go, magic. There were definitely some complications that went into getting the R18 more as a pro stock drag race bike because we had to put a lot wider rear tire on it. This is a 15-inch rear wheel that's bead lock. It is like pro stock spec, a lot more traction, a lot more forward momentum off the line. The main thing that we had to do, which is pretty insane, is we created this basically a transfer case utilizing the stock BMW rear drive hub. This is a drive shaft bike that we have converted to chain drive, both for gearing and so that we could get the chain past the tire. Utilizing this drive shaft as it is assembled into the stock rear wheel, we just couldn't get enough width utilizing the angle of the drive shaft to get it away from the tire and have clearance from the tire to the inside of the drive shaft. So this was our solution. It ends up making the bike about 1 inch longer, which we wanted to do anyway. And that gives us the ability to also change the gearing. So this is a whole BMW rear wheel less the wheel. And this is our version of the exhaust that we're putting on the bike. We're gonna modify these a little bit for foot clearance. We also have a thumb brake here. So we're not gonna be running any foot controls. This is gonna have an air shifter. So you'll be shifting using your thumb, and you'll have access to your rear brake right here on the thumb brake. That helps you modulate the rear brake as you're getting off the line so you can prevent some wheel spin. And it also cleans up the back of the bike, makes it a little bit easier to deal with everything. You just got it all on the bars. You're dealing with shifting and braking and your throttle and everything right here on the handlebars. Because as you know, foot controls on a drag race bike are located way in the back. The gas tank on this side looks fairly stock. As you can see, when we go into the other side, it's not so stock. Being that it is a drag bike, you don't need a massive fuel tank. You just need a couple gallons, really just a gallon to get down the drag strip. We did have to trim the back of the gas tank here, and Aaron welded and filled the back of the gas tank around the chassis, around the frame. Thankfully, BMW doesn't seal their tanks because their tanks are so damn good, so we don't have to go out and get the tank stripped and relined or anything like that. We just utilize the stock tank and we fabricate it. It's really nice. This is your fuel tank and your nitrous oxide bottle. Easy access to turn it on and off. really nice mounts underneath here. Aaron did a fantastic job just sealing up the tank and giving this thing a really cool shape that goes with the R18 but adds a whole new element of badassery. That's it for now. Stay tuned as we finish up R18 Dragster number 2, inspired by Concept 9.